Well, howdy there, folks. This is your host, idjester, and we're going to be talking today about Simcity. Any of you that have been on my game page for a while know that I was a huge Simcity fan. In fact, when the beta came out, I wasted one whole day of my life going on the developer site and waiting for them to release the beta keys and trying to spend the whole day getting a beta key, which I finally ended up getting. I did a live stream of the beta, and then the game came out, and it was one of the worst releases ever on the PC. And it kind of threw me off because, everything you talked about, everything you read, the developers are not going to allow offline mode. They were going to make sure that you logged in the server, you had to connect at all times, you had to live by their rules, and they also were not going to allow any kind of modding support whatsoever. Well, exciting news. January 14th, the developers finally realized that they aren't bigger than the gaming community, which is good news for all of us gamers out there. And they've finally given in, and you can see here we have some exciting news. SimCity is going to be getting an offline mode, so you can play single player SimCity and not have to connect to their server. And even more exciting news is that they're now going to allow modding support for SimCity. So all those great modders out there can get busy and start creating things for SimCity, and it's going to just make the game 1,000 times better. And any of you know about SimCity 4, the previous version of SimCity, which was released back in like 2012 or 2002 or whatever. It's starting to really show its age, but some people out there just still continue to love this game. And why do they love the game still? It's because of all the mods that were created for SimCity back in the day. So what I'm going to excuse me, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to install mods for your SimCity game. So we can, so all the mods that are being created out there, you can easily add them to your SimCity game and be able to use them quickly and easily. So this is going to be the idiot-proof guide on how to install mods for your SimCity 2013 version. I am so glad that they have just finally decided to get off their high horse and release this, get away from these constraints that they have put in on this game and finally open it up and allowing people to do things for it. So the first thing I would suggest you do is obviously buy the game and buy the City Tomorrow's expansion pack so you have all of the released versions of it. Then the next thing I would recommend you do is go to this site called simtropolis.com. And this is basically anything that has to do with SimCity, any version of SimCity. This is going to be the site you want to go to. And it's going to show you all the exciting different things that are going on, and you can read, and there's a lot of informations and how to mod and all kinds of great information that you can get. But we're interested in installing some mods. So if we look at the tabs up at the top here, we can go to the ST Exchange, and we're going to click on that tab there at the top. And it's going to take us to another page here, and on the left-hand side it's going to list all the different available games. You can see SimCity 4 has quite a few different things going on with it now, and if SimCity 2013, you can see there's buildings, there's mods, and there's programs. Right now we're interested in mods, so we're going to click on the mods there on the left hand side, and it's going to take us to all the different mods. You can see there's currently 42, which is pretty impressive since they just released this recently. And you can scroll down the page and you can see all the different mods. So if you're interested, a little description on it. You can see how many times it's been downloaded, the rating on it. You can see we can do trees anywhere. It allows you to select one of your variations of trees and place them anywhere you feel like it, which sounds like a really good idea. So maybe we want to install this mod. What we're going to do then at this point is just click on the blue link there in the title description, or if we wanted to do closer road guides, we can click on that spot there. But let's just assume we're going to do trees anywhere, and we're going to click on that, and it's going to take us to the actual page that just talks about this description, Might tell you if you need any other mods installed or anything. So make sure you read the description on what's going on, who made it, etc., etc. And then over on the right hand side you're going to see a downloads button, and you can click on the download. So we're going to click on the download there. It's going to take us to another site, and if you've already registered on Simtropolis, you'll be able to log in and have your own account and stuff. I haven't actually done that at this point yet. Down here at the bottom we see we're going to agree and download, and I'm going to click on the agree and download. Now you can see the file is available. It's going to be the name of the file, and it's going to have this .rar. And think of a RAR file is like a zip file, but it's a slightly different format. It's a compression format for that. So we're going to click on the downloads button there. And there we go. And if you're not logged in, it's going to have a little delay on when it's going to download here. And of course, it's taking a little bit longer because I'm currently uploading some files to my YouTube channel here. Alright, so I have Windows 7, and if you have Windows 7, a little pop-up down here at the bottom is going to say, do you want to open or save this blah 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 file? And you can open it, you can save it, or you can cancel, whatever you want to do. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on the save button, and you're going to see it downloading. And if it's a big file, it might take a few minutes. You'll see a little progression, 0%, 1%, 2%, and then you'll finally get it downloaded. And you can hit the open, or you can hit the open folder, or you can hit the view downloads button. For those of you who don't have this Windows 7 or whatever, we're going to kind of show you what happens basically kind of on the back side of your Windows here. If you come over here, your start button, you can click on your start button, and you can go into your documents here. Oop, I have to bring this over to my screen here. And once you're inside your documents, you're going to have all your different choices here on the left hand side. And basically, if you click on your downloads folder, you're going to see all the different files that you have downloaded. And you can see that we have Trees Anywhere 1.0, which is the file we just downloaded right there. In fact, if we hit the open folder down here from the bottom, you will see it does the exact same thing. It opens that folder. So you can either do it either way, depending on if you have Windows 7 or if you're working on a different Windows version. But you basically want to find where you've downloaded the file. Now you can see it's a RAR file, and depending on what you're using to open RAR files, right now I'm using WinRAR, and if you see, it's got like a stack of books here, and all we're going to do is just double click on the file, and it's going to bring up our little WinRAR program, and it's going to show us the information, and it's going to have a little folder here. And what we can do is just take the folder and left click and just drag it over to our downloads folder, and then we're going to have a little file that will have all the different files inside the folder here. So if we double click the folder, you can see there's a bunch of information, there's a setup, there's a readme, and there's Simcity data. If you click on the readme, it's going to bring up a little text file, maybe tell you how to install it, who made it, if you have any comments, whatever, blah blah blah. What we're interested in doing is looking at the Simcity data folder, and you can see that there's going to be a package installed inside that folder, and the packages are what's going to be your actual mod that's going to be installed. So you're going to look for different packages. So you can see we have an Tree Anywhere package file. So we've got the file, we've downloaded it, and we now have it ready to go. Now the second part of this whole process is we have to figure out where to put the file once we have it. Well, Simcity is part of the Origin package. So if you have the Origin downloader program, you'll see that all your different games will be installed inside of that. And if you come down, you'll see that Simcity is actually part of the Origin gaming community. So I would highly recommend, if you start getting into lots of different gaming and stuff, you definitely download the Origin client, and so that way you can have access to all your different Origin games. So being an Origin game, that means it's going to install in a certain location. Now your location might be slightly different depending on when you went to install it, but I will show you basically where the default location is going to be. So again, if we hit our little start button, we're going to go to computer here, and you're going to have your different drive letters. For me, it's going to be the C drive. And then I'm going to scroll down my folders here until I get to Program Files x86. Again, I'm working with Windows 7 right now, so yours might be slightly different, but again, it should be a Program Files x86. And what we're going to do is we're going to double click that folder, and you're going to have a bunch of other folders inside of that. What we're going to do is we're going to look for Origin, because it's part of the Origin program. That's why I went through that little spiel a little bit ago. It's part of the Origin gaming. So we're going to click on, is it Origin Games? Yes, it's Origin Games. So i86, oops. Then we're going to go to Origin Games, and then you're going to see all your different installed games that you have installed with your Origin client. So if we look, oops, that's not what I want. Go away. Sorry about that. If we click on our Origin, here's my different games, okay, and the ones that are already installed will be inside that one folder that we just have. So I have Dead Space 3 installed, Dragon Age Origins, Kingdom of Amalur, Need for Speed Most Wanted, and of course Simcity. So we're going to obviously choose SimCity. This is going to be the folder that everything for SimCity's program is going to be installed inside of the SimCity. What we're going to look for is the SimCity data folder, and we're going to double click that, and inside there you can see, oh, there's our package files. So all these package files are the default packages that come with the SimCity program. So you obviously don't want to change these or do anything with those. All we want to do is we want to add our other one to this folder. So if you're familiar with working with Windows and different open windows like this, it's going to be kind of easy for you. You can always right click it and go to copy, and left click on copy, and then come back to your SimCity folder, SimCity data, and you're going to right click and you can paste. So that's one way you can do it. Another way you can do is left click on it, just hold your mouse button down. You can drag it. As long as you keep your left mouse button down, you can see I can move it around the screen. Anywhere I decide to let my left mouse button down is where it will go. So if I'm down here, I don't want to be down there. I don't want to be off the side. I want to be inside my SimCity data folder. And I'm just going to click on it, and you just let go of the left mouse button, and you can see it just took it out of this folder and dragged it over here, which is exactly what I want to have happen. And of course, we can do the same thing if we go back into our downloads. I had downloaded one previously to this called the Closer Road Guides. And all I'm going to do again is double click on that. It's going to bring up whatever program that you have associated with opening your RAR files, whether it be 7-zip or any of the other freebie programs out there. There's lots of different ones out there. You can do WinRAR, which is the one I'm using, or you can use 7-zip. Again, that's a free program that'll open RAR files. We have our RAR file. We have our packages. Again, all we have to do is left click, and we can just drag that over to our downloads folder, and you can see we have it inside our downloads folder. So actually, if we go back into our Closer Road Guides, you will see the file still there. So we're just basically copying it out of that zip file or RAR file, and we're putting it here into our downloads folder, but it's now just a single file as opposed to being all zipped up in a RAR file. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We didn't close our window here. We still have our window, but in case you did close your window when you were doing this, again, it's just going to be computer C. We're going to go to our program files x86. We're going to go to Origin Games. We're going to go to SimCity, and of course we're going to go to SimCity Data. All we're going to do is left click on our Closer Road Guides, hold that left mouse button down. Wherever we drag the file is where it'll go. So once we're in on top of our folder here, we're just going to let go, And you can now see I have the Closer Road Guide package installed, and I have the Tree Anywhere package installed. And you can do this many times over, just depends on how many files you download. I would, of course, highly, highly recommend that you only install one or two of them at a time, and then start up your SimCity. Make sure everything works for a while. If you install, say, 10 or 15 of these at a time, and then you go to start up SimCity and it doesn't work or it keeps crashing, you're not going to know which file you're having problems with. I'm not saying you will have problems, but it'll be easier to diagnose. So if I go and I start up my SimCity and it's not working right and it keeps crashing on me or something weird's happening, I know it's probably one of these two files. So what I would do is uninstall these two files, and I would just click on them, and I would just delete them out of there, and then I'm back to just my standard regular SimCity again. Then I would load it up, make sure I'm not having any problems, and then I would go back into my downloads folder, and I would then bring these files back in. So maybe I would say, all right, well, let's do this Closer Road Guides. And I'm just going to bring that package back in and try it out. So we're just going to click on it, drag it over here. There it is. And I would start up my SimCity again. And if everything works fine, then I know it's the Trees Anywhere that was probably having an issue with maybe one of my other mods that's installed, or maybe there's something wrong with the file, or who knows what the problem might be. But if I start up Closer Road Guides and I run with SimCity for a while and it doesn't have any problems, then I would go ahead and install another mod. Again, go back in, double click, close, thank you. Go into my SimCity data. See, we even have a folder for that already, so we know the folder we're going for is the SimCity data folder. So we're just going to double click that. We're going to take our Trees Anywhere package, and we're just going to left click, drag it over, let it go, and there we go. And then I would start up my SimCity again and see if I'm having problems now. So that's the hopefully complete idiot's guide to installing your SimCity mods. It's not very hard. It's going step by step, very slow, just to try and make sure everybody understands how to do it. And hopefully this guide will help you out getting some of these mods that'll be flooding the market for SimCity here. In fact, if we go to ST Exchange, you can actually go to SimCity 4, SimCity XL. Okay, they don't have a link to go to SimCity, but again, you can just click on the mods, find another mods we like, and download it and get it into our downloads folder. We're going to take it out of our downloads folder with our WinRAR program or whatever program you're using to open the files. You're looking for the packages. Once you have the packages, you just got to find your location that you have installed SimCity, and hopefully it's in the same location that I showed you, or very similar, probably very similar to that, which is going to be C drive, program files, x86, Origin Games, SimCity, SimCity data. Well, hopefully this will be a guide to help you get all these mods installed. I'm pretty excited. In fact, I'm going to be doing some SimCity videos and getting them uploaded on my channel now that we are going to have an offline mode, which means you can play if you travel, if you're using a laptop and going from place to place. You don't have to worry about trying to always connect to their servers. So it's not quite here yet, but the other exciting thing is obviously they're going to be doing modding support for SimCity. So all the people out there are going to be creating all sorts of wonderful, awesome things. I can just see SimCity just expanding out and becoming that much better here in the months to come. So hopefully this will be a guide that gets you involved in the SimCity and be able to get all these mods downloaded. And then from time to time I'm going to post some videos online, talk about what the mods are that I've downloaded, kind of show you maybe what the mods are doing, and we'll go from there and kind of update occasionally and let you know what's going on in the modding community for SimCity. Very exciting news. glad the developers finally realized that they weren't the end all to be all on gaming, and finally decided to release their views on what was going on with SimCity. And I think the fact that the gaming community was just so down on this game because of the awful release, because of the EA's insistence that they were going to be only a online mode only, and that there was going to be no modding allowed. I'm glad they finally decided against all that and start opening up. And I'm sorry it's taken almost a year. I think it was released in March of last year. It's almost taken a year for this to get here, and it shouldn't have been that way. But that's for another story, another day, or whatever. But I appreciate you watching my video. Leave your thoughts and comments below, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.